Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hello, motherfucker.
Nice.
Welcome to episode 102 of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell. Eric Anderson is off tonight because he has to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning to work.
I was
So
going to say, not even up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
fair.
He's got
He's
to
gonna be there
work
at 2 o'clock in the morning. So
honestly, he's probably asleep already.
we'll excuse this absence. You know? I mean, I think it's kind of bullshit, but whatever. we'll excuse it.
I don't, because I'll be honest with you. This is half my show, and I wouldn't be here if I had to be to work at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd have been calling you going, sorry, bro. Can't do it. I got to be to work at 2.
I can certainly understand that. We have that with my bowling team if somebody misses because of whatever it is, whether it's work or kids or whatever. I'm like, we're just on our group chat. We're just like that really? The bowling takes precedence, guy. Like what the fuck, man? But no, I don't blame him one bit for that. You got to be at work at 2:30 in the morning. By all means, man, get your sleep, dude.
But in a way, he's kind of being a vagina. But whatever, I mean, whatever.
It's only like an hour, dude. Like, come on, man.
We kid.
We kid because we care. So obviously, this past weekend was super wild card weekend.
Super.
And I know we kind of talked about this last week about the Nickelodeon stuff and them doing games. Yeah. I heard today on one of the hockey podcasts that I listened to that they're considering doing this through Disney with the NHL.
Really?
Yes. Which I think is a terrific idea.
That would be cool as hell.
Ray would dig it. I think Ray would dig it. If it's Disney related?
She might. If it's Disney related, I could get her to watch hockey.
Oh, absolutely. But that's, again.
See, it's tough to get her to watch hockey right now. She has no interest in hockey.
Right.
So I kind of wish they would do this. It might be able to help me get her into hockey a little bit.
Exactly. And like I said, this is what I heard today. I don't know how truthful this is, but the NHL, they don't necessarily, they're not in the forefront of promoting their game. However, if this is indeed accurate, I think it's a terrific idea, and I think it's something that should absolutely move forward with. Because, like you said, you have trouble getting Ray into the game. This would be a perfect avenue for her or even just anybody with little kids to get into the game of hockey. So.
Well, and it goes hand in hand with what we said about the NFL, right? So with the NFL, it's you could gain a younger audience.
Yep.
You could make it so that parents who like your sport can watch it with their kids and enjoy it more, because there's times where parents have to choose not watching over spending time with their kids.
And you've had that issue. Yeah, you've had that issue.
I do it all the time.
Yep.
Because when it comes down to it, am I choosing NFL football or am I choosing my daughter?
You're choosing your daughter.
I'm choosing my daughter every time. But the NFL can gain that viewership back.
Yep.
The NHL can gain that viewership back by making it, at least portions of it, some games, kid-friendly.
Yep.
To where you can then enjoy it with your child, and you're not choosing one or the other. You're not either being a bad parent or a good parent and choosing the other one. You're not having to make that choice now. You're able to do both, and it gains viewership and it gains a younger audience.
If anything, I think it helps that parent-child relationship.
Absolutely,
because it's something you guys can do together. And what's this country built on? Family values.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's dive into a super wild card weekend. Let's start with the first game. That game kind of went how we thought it was going to go. Even at halftime, I'm like, there's no way the Seahawks are winning this game, even when they're winning at halftime.
No.
We all say talent kind of rises to the top, and it did in this game. You saw San Francisco just had too many weapons for Seattle to handle.
San Francisco played a pretty game. You know what I mean? It was a good looking game. No,
you're gonna get that in anytime you can, aren't you?
I am. I just love it. I'm gonna do it. It's a dad joke, and I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, it is. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. No. I mean, San Francisco is rolling, man. I mean, there isn't much you can do to stop them at this point. Their defense is humming.
Yep.
There's not much you're getting against them, although DK had a couple of deep passes against them. They were able to get that going, but nothing else really got going for Seattle other than a couple of big plays by DK.
Yeah.
Their offense is rolling. That running game is on fire. And then you got Brock Purdy, who, listen, man, you say what you want to, but
kid's getting it done, man.
This is what 7 or 8 games into his tenure there, and it's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And dude just won his first playoff game in his first year as a rookie, being drafted last overall. And yes, the San Francisco 49ers are a very, very good team.
Right.
But he doesn't look like he's...
It looks like he belongs.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he's the last overall
Like the
pick in
moment's not
NFL.
too big for him.
Not at all.
Remind me again, how many playoff wins do the Lions have in 65-plus years?
0.
They have one.
Oh, one. Yeah,
Yes.
one. Sorry, one. Yeah.
So congratulations.
You're right. I forget about that
You've
one.
equaled an entire franchise's playoff wins for 65-plus years.
As a rookie
As a rookie.
in his first year.
As Mr. Irrelevant.
As Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Hugh. How's it going?
Hugh?
Hugh? Hugh?
It's going, man. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, Steve. My name's Joe.
Yes.
I'm not Hugh.
Last I checked, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were saying, that game kind of went as expected. Especially with Debo back, you saw that's just another weapon for them.
Another weapon. They got him involved in the run game. They got
did.
him involved in the passing game. Brandon Ayuk looks like he's putting it together. I mean, him and Brock Purdy, Hugh Grant, the debt collector. Okay. I get it now.
Okay.
The British nice debt collector.
Dennis says, "Don't take away the one win without it. It makes the sad even sadder." Spot on, Dennis. Spot on.
That's fantastic.
Well played, sir.
Without it, it makes
Well
the sad even sadder.
Well played.
Yeah, so, I mean, the rapport between Purdy and his receiving core, Kittle included, they look like they've been playing together for 4 or 5 years, man. It's if that continues, San Francisco is going to be very hard to beat.
They are, and really the only issue I saw with that game was when Juszczyk took out one of his offensive linemen on a block. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, he pancaked him, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. Even the lineman got up and he's looking around. He goes, "What the hell just happened, man?" That was great. But I mean, if that's your biggest issue, you're doing something right. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to bet against San Francisco right now making it to the Super Bowl. It really is. I mean, obviously you took them at the beginning of the season, and I took Philadelphia. So right now they're kind of on a collision course to.
At this point in time, it looks like they're basically aiming right at each other.
Yep. So moving on from that game, we'll go to the debacle, I guess you could say, of the weekend. The Los Angeles Chargers. My bad.
San Diego
Superchargers. They weren't super in this game.
They were in the first half.
They were in the first half.
Second half, they were.
Man, that's a game that should get coaches fired.
I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet. I'll be honest.
Their
with
OC
you.
got fired.
Staley should be fired.
I agree with you. He should absolutely be
There's
fired.
no way he should have a job after that.
Yes. So
And he's been bad on other occasions. Many bad decisions. Right. I mean, we've talked about it on the show.
Right.
So
like, what did I say when we were making our picks last week?
yeah.
I go, he's going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose. And obviously it didn't look great for the first half.
I mean, the only thing he got wrong is he didn't do something stupid.
He did a lot.
He did a lot of stupid. There was a lot of stupid.
Yeah, there was a lot of Brandon Staley stupidity in that game. But so the Chargers are up 27-0. Okay. And then Trevor Lawrence looks like absolute dog shit. 4 picks.
4 picks.
Looks like he's never played NFL football in his life.
4 picks. I looking back at that game again. I'm not an apologist, but 2 of those picks weren't necessarily his fault.
Right.
You put him on the quarterback, but again, kind of just the whole team didn't look like they were prepared to play.
They didn't.
He was getting pressured right away. Literally, as soon as he snapped the ball, he was getting pressured. He was.
I mean, you want to chalk that down to jitters, whatever. Like,
Well, and then listen,
Okay.
there was one of the picks. His receiver basically was mugged.
Yeah.
And the ball went right past the receiver as he was throwing his hands up after getting mugged, and that got picked off. It was a very ugly first half for Jacksonville overall, including Trevor Lawrence.
Right. Now, what I took away from this game is you saw everybody bitching and complaining about the officiating. And granted, the officiating was not great. It was not great at all.
Never is.
However, you're up 27-0. And then you decide you only want to run the ball 7 times in the second half with Austin Eckler? Are you kidding me? That's what you do? And this is what we say about Brandon Staley. He does dumb shit.
Just dumb. Just dumb.
Just dumb. Like, if you just ran the ball, you'd have been fine.
Run the ball more. Just be smarter with your possessions. Kill some clock. You're up 27-0 starting the second half. Go on some drives, run the football, kill some clock. Just keep the clock running. And instead, you run the ball 7 times, and you end up letting them have this insane comeback.
Just start chipping away.
Yeah, and I tell you what, in the second half, the Jaguars, as bad as they were in the first half, they were equally as good in the second half. I don't want to put all this just on Staley and his asinine decisions and his bullshit.
That helped.
I mean, it helped.
Yes.
The fact that the refs weren't either making or missing calls like they did in the first half helped as well. But Jacksonville deserves a lot of credit in that game. They kept chipping away and they didn't quit. And man, that's fun to see in a young team.
It is. And I was watching that game. I was watching something else too, I think, at the time. So I was kind of keeping like one eye on that game and one eye on another game I was watching. But yeah, you saw it. It's like, this team's not quitting.
No.
Like, and then you started to think, like, they're actually going to do this. And I thought about putting money on it once they got to 27-7.
Yeah, that
I
defense
thought about
was
it.
buzzing, man.
It was.
Like that. It was a tale of two halves for that Jacksonville team because they looked like they just were not prepared. They looked like they had the yips. Like they were just not ready to play that first half. And the second half, they came out, and for everything that went their way, you could just see the momentum building. And they were just growing as a team and getting that confidence as a team. And it was pretty fun to watch that, and also watch Staley collapse with his team because I can't stand him. He's on the list.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But watching Jacksonville is just fun for me, man. I really enjoy that team. I really do. I'm not a Jacksonville fan, but I enjoy this team. I enjoy the way they're doing things right now. As much as I don't like their head coach as a head coach, he's getting the job done, man.
He is. He's absolutely getting the job done. And I don't know if he said anything at halftime. We're not privy to that, but
according to Peyton Manning, halftime adjustments are
a myth.
Are a myth.
Yes,
there are no halftime adjustments.
Okay, I mean,
maybe not with him. With the coaching staff, I'm sure there is.
I say maybe not with you, but with other teams, I'm sure it's a thing. But
I mean, the coaching staff in games has adjustments. They should not just have halftime adjustments. They should have adjustments throughout the entire game.
Right.
Like you're always adjusting to what the other team is doing. If they're taking something away and they're keying on something that you wanted to do, you adjust and you go with something else.
But I props to Jacksonville. That was a hell of a comeback and definitely a deserved win. So I mean, a lot of things went into that. Whether it's Jacksonville just manning up and finally, I want to say that maybe coming out they just weren't ready for the moment. It's you got to look at their team they were terrible.
They were terrible last year. They had some ups and downs this year.
Yeah.
Showed promise. They've got a second-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence who looked like he wasn't going to be the guy last year. But again, most of us chalked it up to, all right, let's see some more because of the situation he was in.
Right.
And I think he's proven this year that he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. He's getting it.
Yeah, he like we kind of said.
Even when he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
He seems to learn from that, and it doesn't bother him. You know how some quarterbacks, when they make a mistake, listen, a lot of quarterbacks, they throw 4 picks in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's over.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
But you didn't see that from him, and that's big for me. I like that.
No, we kind of did say that about Lawrence. I don't know, probably say a month and a half ago. That looked like he was kind of starting to get it, starting to take it to that next level where, not to elite status, but to, we'll say, good to very good.
Right.
And I think he's kind of there now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if he takes it to that elite status.
I think there's another level to him at this point.
I think there is another level to him as well. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be elite to like that Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, that type of level.
I think this year I can see. Last year I would have said I don't know, and I was a Lawrence fan coming out, right? But last year I would have been like, hey, I don't know, man.
Right
now I think that's still a possibility because what I've seen from him is he just he's got that mentality. You know what I mean? He's got that dog in him.
He does.
That he just, like I said, those 4 picks would have crushed another quarterback and would have crushed another team.
Yep.
They just done at that point. For him, it was like, nope, I'm still coming back there. I know I have the talent to get out here and do this, and I'm going to go do it. Period.
See, and that's the thing about today's NFL, though. Like, it almost doesn't even matter. Like, you turn the ball over 4 times. It's just how the way the game is called and officiated and played. It's almost like it doesn't matter. It's like, okay.
But you still see quarterbacks
You
throw a
do.
couple picks and they're completely out of it.
Yep.
Dak Prescott is one of the quarterbacks. If he throws a couple picks in the first
It's
half,
done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And we'll get to that later because we got to dap up Dak a little bit because he did play well last
Absolutely,
night.
he played amazing
Yeah,
last
he
night.
played late, but we'll get to that game shortly. Moving on to the Bills Dolphins game. I got to give props to the Dolphins, man. They played a hell of a game. And that's just why when we looked at that spread when we made our picks last week, this is exactly why I took the Dolphins. I'm like, the Dolphins' defense is still good, man. I don't care who's playing quarterback from their defense is still good. They made Buffalo's offensive line look like dog shit.
Oh, listen. I text you at one point during the game. I'm like, Buffalo's in trouble here.
Yeah, you were absolutely right.
Miami's defense is buzzing
They
right
were.
now, and they're building confidence as they go. If Buffalo doesn't do something to stop that momentum
Right.
in their favor, which then at that point in time came the Beasley touchdown,
Yeah.
which then kind of killed that a little bit. But at that point in time, Miami was the team that had the momentum on their side.
They absolutely did. Jalen Phillips was dominant.
Yep.
During that game, and I dapped that guy up too because he's a Kane. I'll dap that guy up. He had a hell of a game. Too bad their secondary didn't want to show up, but the defensive line definitely had a game. So yeah, that's exactly why I didn't get suckered into taking that point spread. I'm like, nope.
And I'll be honest with you, Buffalo better do something different.
Yeah, they have to. Like, their running game is damn near non-existent.
Running game's non-existent. They still don't stop the run very well.
They do not.
And that offensive line, besides the fact that their run game is non-existent, that offensive line was getting killed in the pass rush as well.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of times when Allen would drop back to pass, and it was just like they had a guy like right in his face, damn near, as soon as he got the ball.
And listen, I know he's athletic, and I know he can run, and he's got that running ability, but you can't be running for your life the entire game and expect to win every one of those games.
You can't.
You just can't.
This isn't like Vince Young circa 2006 Rose Bowl shit. Dude,
No,
that's not how it works in the NFL, man.
Yeah, it's not Mike Vick.
2004.
Right. It's just not, man. You can't do that. And Allen is a guy who can make up for pressure in the pocket, but you can't expect to do that all game, every game, and be able to win games that way. You're gonna get beat.
Yeah, that you're definitely playing with fire. So, and obviously in the social media, everybody's bagging on Buffalo. Oh, he was a third string quarterback. You barely beat him. Blah blah blah. Honestly, at this time of year, survive in advance, man.
Listen, and I don't like that.
I don't either.
The one thing I'm going to say about that is Buffalo wasn't playing just Sage Tomlinson or whatever his name is.
Skylar
Thompson, whatever.
Yeah.
It's there's 10 other guys on offense and there's 11 guys on defense on that team, and there's 11 guys on special teams. You're playing against an entire team.
Yeah.
So it's not just because you're playing against a third string quarterback doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. And if Miami had Tua, is the result different? Maybe.
I'll be honest with you, I think it is.
I think it might be, but then again, Buffalo might play completely different.
Maybe.
Who knows?
The one thing I'm going to look at is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle had 15 total touchdowns between the two of them with Tua in there.
Yep. Without
him, 0.
Yep.
So to me, that game is a little different if Tua's in there. And the fact that he wasn't in there, it was a big dent against Miami. But once again, it wasn't just the Bills against Skylar Thompson. It was the Bills against Miami, and one of those players was Skylar Thompson, a third quarterback. Period. It is what it is.
And he didn't exactly have a bad game.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was terrible.
They were able to shelter him a little bit, use the run game, some play action pass, a little bit of screen passes, some fast quick outs.
Yeah.
A lot of short routes, which would have been different if Tua was in there. But yeah, I mean, they were able to shelter him a little bit, and honestly, they almost pulled out the victory. So
They did, but like I said, this time of year is just like the NCAA tournament, man. Survive in advance. Yeah. Like, you played, arguably, I don't want to say one of the worst games of your season because they've played worse, but you brought your B- game, maybe your C+ game, and you still advanced. Okay, but that being said, going into this week against Cincinnati,
you got to be better.
You play like that, you're gonna get blown out.
But you're gonna get beat for sure.
Yeah. So that being
because the Bengals are still no joke.
They are no joke, and we'll get to that game shortly after we get to the I don't want to even say debacle in Minnesota, but so I'm happy Buffalo's moving on. Obviously, I think it's going to be a hell of a game this weekend, though. I really do.
I'm looking forward to all these games this weekend.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very good games.
Yeah.
I love this time of year for football, man.
It's great. It's great. So before we get into the New York Giants Minnesota game, I'm going to do a quick read here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
It's a good segue.
I know. They're not all winners, man. I don't know. It was a long day. I was just like, fuck it.
Didn't have the energy for it.
Just get to the fucking read.
Let's just do the read.
If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Let's go Buffalo! Let's go Buffalo! Let's go Buffalo! Let's go Buffalo!
I mean, at least this one's better. Like, I was listening to the Spit and Chickless podcast today. Like, when they do like a ad or they cut out like mid-sentence and they just do it. It's
Really?
like a pre-recorded like
Really?
ad. Yeah, it's weird. It's literally like mid-sentence. And it's like, oh, wait. What happened here? You guys were literally talking, and then it just cuts out
Just
to
cuts
a
to a
read.
commercial?
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, at least we try and give segues most
We
of the time.
do most of the time, yes. But today I'm just like, the hell with it. Just do the read. I don't feel like coming up with a clever segue or anything like that. Just do it.
Fuck it. Just fucking do it.
Just do it. Let's do it.
Fucking do it.
That's right. So moving on to the Minnesota New York Giants game.
Minnesota.
Honestly, the game kind of went how I thought it was going to go.
So on a 4th and 8,
Yes.
what kind of pass should you throw?
Not that one. Not a
I would- I
not a
would-
3-yard check down.
I would throw a 3-yard out to my tight end.
Oh, when he's covered.
Apparently, me and Kirk Cousins are the same person
Oh, my
because
God.
I would definitely throw a 3-yard out on 4th and 8 with the season on the line.
Yeah.
Like that was I don't know what the fuck that was, man. That was bad. God, that was bad.
Now
What are you doing?
we're not like he actually had a good game. He did.
He did, but it comes down to what we always say about Kirk Cousins, right?
He goes Kirk Cousins.
I'm the first one to come to his defense because
You
he's
are.
not a bad quarterback.
He's not.
His numbers are good.
Actually really good.
Right. But sometimes him and Jimmy G make that weird decision where you're like, were you sleeping during this play? Like, what was your thought process throwing a 3-yard out on 4th and 8 with the season on the line?
Right. Like I even texted you. I was like, I was waiting for that back-breaking pick, but instead he did that.
But instead he did that.
And that's the thing with Kirk Cousins. He can play, the game of his life like every week.
I would have rather him if say I'm a Minnesota fan, say I'm on the Minnesota team, I'm a coach, whatever.
Yeah.
I would have rather had him throw it up for grabs and get an interception past the sticks, which might be a first down if they catch it,
Or even a pass interference.
Or pass interference.
Yeah.
But so what if it's an interception? Throw it beyond the sticks, man. What, a 3-yard out? First of all, why is that even a route
Yeah.
on that play call? Why is a 3-yard out even a route on that play call? None of those routes on that route tree should have been anything shorter than 8 yards.
Agreed. Also, you had KJ Osborne running up the middle, wide open. I know you were under pressure. I get it. But like you said, chuck it up. Maybe you catch it. Maybe you get a pass interference, holding, something.
Well, he was under pressure, and he threw it in duress
Yep.
to the 3-yard out, which I put that on coaching staff too. Why, again,
Yeah, that
why
shouldn't-
is there a 3-yard out
Right.
on the route tree on a 4th and 8, and your season is on the line? None of those routes, other
Right.
than your running back out in the flat, should have been shorter than 8 yards. None of them. So that's on the coaching staff as well. But with Kirk Cousins, you're under duress. You're throwing it quick. I get that. Then just throw it to one of your deeper receivers, and if it gets picked, it gets picked. But you got a chance at a pass interference. You got a chance at your guys going up and making the grab.
Right.
Don't throw that.
Don't do that.
Like, just don't do that.
So after the game, I'm on the twitter.com, and we have like Vikings pages that follow our show, and we follow them back. And you had somebody that like would post something like defending Kirk Cousins and blah blah. Okay, I get it. Like, you couldn't have been, because again, he did play a good game except for that. And then you see like all the comments. It's just like kind of the same thing like Lions fans said about Stafford.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, you play well, but you always make that just the worst mistake at the worst time.
Yep.
And they're done with Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah,
They are done.
Oh yeah,
with Kirk
absolutely,
Cousins.
absolutely. That right there ended the fans. On his
Yeah,
side.
they're done. They're like, no.
The only problem with that is be careful what you ask for as a Minnesota fan, because
Yeah.
what are you going to do at this point? You just made the playoffs.
Yep.
If Kirk Cousins isn't your guy, you got no shot at a top quarterback. So what do? You go after Derek Carr?
Oof. Do you really want that?
Isn't he Kirk Cousins 2.0?
I guess.
I mean, they're similar guys.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, but just be careful what you ask for, because yeah, I know you've only won like what, 2 playoff games, 1 playoff game with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
But at least you have a winning team and you make the playoffs every year.
I mean, and they're pissed because obviously of the money he gets paid, and
Of
frankly,
course.
I get it,
Yeah, absolutely.
because that dude has stolen more money than any quarterback I can think of
I mean,
for
it's
lack
not-
of playoff success.
yes, it's not stealing if you're handed the money though.
Fair. If
I mean-
some idiot GM is willing to give that to you, or some idiot owner is willing to give that to you, and this is why this dude's agent should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely.
But and this is what I kept reading on this page. This is like, for the that's what it comes down to, is the money. Like for the money he's getting paid.
Yeah.
And to always make that mistake, they're done with this guy, and I don't blame him. I fucking hate Kirk Cousins because I think he's a fraud. I think as a person he's a fraud, and I feel somewhat vindicated about me calling the Vikings a fraud this year, because
Oh,
fraud, 100%, they were frauds.
funny thing is, there was more people saying that team was a fraud all year than not, and it was just, they just kept finding a way to get it done. But again, it was against lower teams. It was against teams with bad winning percentages. They had 11 games that they won that were within 1 score.
They were. And I was talking to a lady friend about this after they ended up losing, and I said, it's cool that you win 1-score games, but what does that tell me? It tells me either A, you were up in games and you let teams come back, or B, you were down in games and you came back and won.
Right.
At some point, that's going to burn you,
Especially in the playoffs.
especially in the playoffs. That's going to burn you, and it did. And this is why I've been saying for damn near the entire season, the Vikings are frauds, and they are frauds. And I feel somewhat vindicated after them losing that game. So, very excited about that, because fuck Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, fuck Kirk Cousins. Fuck you, Kirk Cousins.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, okay, it's 4th and 8. He's gonna find Jefferson somewhere. And no, you just did that. It was just, I literally just started laughing. I couldn't help but contain it. It was funny. So it was great. Hi, Alicia. What's happening?
Hey, what's up? Hello, lady.
Hello, lady.
Yeah, I mean that looking at that team and the fact that they were, and it's not just the fact you're eating pizza. I hate you right now because I would love to eat pizza, and I'm not.
Sounds good.
Yeah. What kind of pizza is it? I'm just curious.
Is it DiGiorno? DiGino?
Is it?
DiGino?
It's not delivery. It's DiGino. Yeah, so you're right. When you look at a team like that, if you win a bunch of from Pepperoni Grill, oh God, yeah.
I've never had that.
Oh, it's good.
Is it good?
Oh, very good. So you're right. You're either coming from behind because you're down in games. Allison says she has homemade pizza she can send home with me.
Yeah, we made pizza last night.
Oh, see, I'm staying away from the pizza. That's why I appreciate it, but that's why I would love pizza right now because I'm staying away from it.
Right.
I gotta try and have a decent beach body.
I was gonna say you're going to Disney. You gotta.
I'm going to Florida, so I'm gonna be by a pool, by a beach.
Yeah.
I need to get my.
He's gotta have a decent dad bod.
Yeah, I gotta have a less rounded dad bod.
Yeah, I'm in shape. Round.
I'm in shape. It's multiple shapes, but whatever. But no, so you're looking at a team like that. You're right. They're either down and coming back,
Yep.
or they're up and blowing leads. And then you look at the caliber of opponents that they played in those games, and it wasn't necessarily the cream of the crop. It was teams with losing records, right? And
I mean, say for like Buffalo when they came back, and I feel like it was more on Buffalo than it was on Minnesota.
again, yeah, I agree. I would agree with that.
Even though I don't like that terminology. Buffalo didn't.
Buffalo lost the game.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Minnesota.
You still fucking did you win? No, shut up.
Yeah. I don't like that either because, like I talked about with the Chargers, a lot of that was on the Chargers. But I don't ever want to take anything away from Jacksonville because they deserve a lot of credit in that fucking game. So I hate saying that a team lost it and another team didn't win it. But again, caliber of opponent.
Yeah.
The way that you win one score games, are they just hard fought? Did you give up a lead and you had to pull out the victory in the end? Did you blow a lead? Like, did you let a team get out to a big lead and then you had to come back like you did with Indianapolis? Which a team where there's no way you should have been down by that many points in the first fucking place.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into that.
There is. It was even the kind of same thing after the Ohio State Georgia game. They're like, Ohio State, or Georgia didn't win it. Ohio State lost it. I'm like, well, you still lost. Were you advancing?
So
no.
So who actually won the game?
Georgia did.
Okay, they won.
Exactly.
They won.
When people use that phrasing, that terminology, it irritates the hell out of me because I don't care if one team won or one team lost. It doesn't matter. The team lost. It's over. You're not moving on.
Right.
So, that's kind of how I feel about that game. So.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention with the Jacksonville game, they're the only team in the Super Bowl era to go from last place in the NFL to a playoff winner the next season.
See, Lions fans, it can be done.
The only team to ever do that, and yeah, I mean, and let's on the same breath, let's give the Lions credit because they had the same record as Jacksonville did. They just didn't make the playoffs, right?
Right.
And
I still think that rule should be changed.
Both those teams went from last and second to last to a 9-8 record and being respectable in their conferences.
Right.
So I give both those teams credit, and Jacksonville was able to pull off. They were basically playing playoff football the last 6 weeks of the season.
They had to,
and then to pull off that game against the Chargers, that's pretty damn good, man.
No, they had to. So, and I guess that's kind of weird thinking about that because they were technically playing playoff football just to get into the playoffs, and then for them to come out in the first half of that game, that's kind of odd to me. But again, credit to them, they stuck with it and they were able to pull out the game, which that's not a lot of people saw happening when you're down 27-0. But when you're playing a Brandon Staley head coach team. Yeah, you might have a chance.
There's always a shot.
There's always a shot. But it goes to what you said about the Lions and them having the same record as the Jaguars. And this is why I believe you should 100% either be 500 or above to make the playoffs. And being that the Buccaneers got in, with a sub 500 record, to me is a joke.
See, in that case, I don't agree with that only with the fact that then get rid of divisions then.
I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine.
If you're going to get rid of divisions, just have a conference. That's fine. Get rid of that then.
I'm cool with that.
Because if you're going to have divisions, I still think you have to have a division winner. Now, I also don't think if you have divisions, you should do what some Lions fans wanted to happen because it would have helped them this year. You can't just go off the division record because they're Lions fans this year were like, well, we deserve to be in over Minnesota because Minnesota's a fraud and we had a better division record than they did.
So?
Yeah, but I mean, they were still 13-4.
Yeah.
Fraudulently, yes.
But
13-4, you can't take away the wins they had. You can't just say those wins didn't count because they weren't in the division.
Right.
If you're going to have divisions, you got to have a division winner, and you got to count all the games, man. You can't just count the games in the division.
Right. No,
So-
I agree with that. But I'm with you that if we're going to do that, then absolutely eliminate divisions.
What I would rather see happen is keep the divisions. Don't reward a losing record as a division winner with a home game. I would rather see it be, okay, fine. You win your division because your division's shitty, and you win your division with a 8-9 record, which is what Tampa Bay won it with.
Yep.
Great, your division sucks, and you're in with a losing record. But you don't get a home playoff game, then fuck you. You are a traveling team. Once the divisions don't just get a home game, fuck that. It should be best record, period. Now, division winner gets you in, but if you got a worse record, you get an away game. Fuck off.
I mean, if we're going to keep divisions, and I still don't agree with having a sub 500 team in, but if obviously they're not going to change that.
Right.
But that I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah,
on.
because
If
the
we're
only
keep
way
it
they're
the
going
same
to
way.
change that is if they just go to conferences. If there's divisions, they're going to have division winners, and you're going to end up having teams that have a losing record get in.
And frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if at some point they did that. They just went to straight conferences.
I'd be okay with that.
I would be too. I frankly, I think
Overall record,
yeah,
you'd have to figure out a way to do the schedule
which
correctly.
they will.
Well, they could figure something out. Right now, the way they do it is based off your conference and your placing from the year before and all that stuff. So they could figure something out.
I'm thinking about going to Orchard Park next year for the Raiders game.
Nice.
Depending on when it is.
Yeah.
If it's in like December, probably not doing that. But
Yeah, I'm going to go with no on that one. I've gone to a game in Buffalo
Yeah.
in the winter. It's not fun.
yeah, I can't imagine it is.
No, it's not. You might have a better time.
I can deal with the cold. It's the snow that I don't want to deal with.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. I hate cold, but I hate snow more.
Yes,
I can deal with cold because I can make myself warm.
Exactly.
You got blankets.
Yeah.
You got.
I can put like
hand
9 layers
warmers.
on. We're good.
Yeah, you can wear 18 layers of
Exactly.
clothes. Thermals. You can lots of things you can do. Right.
Right.
But the snow, I just fucking hate snow.
Yeah. I that'd be a no go for me, dog.
Yeah. That's a no for me,
It's no
dog.
for me, dog. But so moving on from the Minnesota Giants game to the Cincinnati Baltimore game. Now, this game you can kind of like equate it to the Buffalo Miami game, if you want, because it's kind of the same issue. Like
Similar.
very similar. Like this is a game that you look at Baltimore. They're on their second or third string quarterback. Is that second? Okay.
Second. Almost went with the third. We're gonna possibly go with
Right.
the third. Hubbard.
Yeah.
Dennis yelled Hubbard.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. Hubbard.
Mother Hubbard? I got nothing.
Old Mother Hubbard sat in the cupboard.
I got nothing on that one. So you can kind of equate the Cincinnati Baltimore game a little bit to the Miami Buffalo game. It's very similar. I mean, not as high scoring, but kind of similar in the regard that Cincinnati was favored. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what the spread was.
7.
Was it 7? Okay. So it was a decent spread, and it was a game that, I mean, Cincinnati should have honestly won handily, and they struggled.
They did.
They struggled, and who's to say if Huntley doesn't fumble at the goal line?
Yeah, that was a bad play call.
That was a very bad play call.
They put Huntley in a bad position, and,
Yeah.
and I feel bad for him. That was a bad play call. I agree with Dobbins.
I do too.
Like,
Yeah.
hand him the football.
The dude's he was your horse the entire. Like, why are you not giving him the ball?
To turn around and hand the ball to him.
Right.
Let him push it in the end
Yeah.
zone, man. Why? I just didn't understand that.
Like that was like a long yard to jump over the pile like that.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah. And I don't know whether that was the play call or whether Huntley just decided. Sam Hubbard? Dennis, you might have to explain a little bit more than that, bud, because Chris and I are looking at each other. He doesn't know, and neither do I. Sam Hubbard.
I got nothing on that one.
I feel like we're missing something.
I
here.
think maybe we got to Google it or something.
Google Sam Hubbard.
Google Sam Hubbard.
So when that got ran, I was like, what are we doing? What's going on here?
Oh, that's the guy that took the recovery back to the touchdown.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, man. I was drunk as fuck when I saw that, so I couldn't remember who did it.
I didn't remember his name. But homeboy is fast for a defensive lineman, though.
Oh yeah, he had the jets going on. You saw him after like on the sideline. He had the oxygen mask going.
Yeah, he just said fumble recovery
Yeah.
for the touchdown. Mark Andrews ran the fastest he's been clocked at running to try and catch him.
He almost did too.
And he almost did.
Yeah.
And actually, technically, that was a block in the back.
It was. Yes. Another missed call by the referees. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
But going back to that play call, it was just dumb. Again,
Yeah, it
just
was not
give the
good.
ball to Dobbins, let him do what he does. And I'm with you in agreement. I don't blame Dobbins for speaking out on it. And who was it? Was it him or one of his teammates that said they win that game with Lamar?
It was him.
Was it him? Okay.
Yeah, he's very outspoken, apparently.
Now, I don't like him saying that though, because it kind of
See, that I'm with you there.
like that kind of takes away from what Huntley did.
Well, and it's not Huntley's fault.
I know it's not Huntley's
Right,
fault,
and
but
that-
it kind
and
of
that's-
makes it by saying that it kind of
No,
makes it seem like it is.
No,
Huntley's
you're
fault.
right, and I don't like. I agree. I don't like him saying that. I was okay with him saying, "Turn around and hand the ball to me.
Right.
Give the ball to me. Why are we not running it with me?"
Right.
Him taking away from Huntley a little bit and saying what he said about Lamar Jackson. Listen, man, you don't got to say that.
You don't.
We all know that. We all know that's a different game if Lamar Jackson's healthy and in that game. You don't have to say that, and you don't have to throw your teammate underneath the bus. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just go back to the Buffalo Miami game. If Miami had Tua, is it a different game? Just
Absolutely.
one. If Baltimore has Lamar,
absolutely,
is it a
it's
different game?
Absolutely,
Maybe. It might be
a healthy Lamar.
A healthy, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Frankly, if they have Lamar, do I think they win? Yeah, I do.
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, I'd put it at like 60-40
Yeah.
that they win that game. But again, nobody will never know. But for him to say that, oh, if we had Lamar, we would have won that game. You kind of throwing your teammate under the bus there a little bit, man.
Things that could go without saying.
Exactly.
Like we all know this.
Yeah.
We're all thinking it.
Like everybody in that locker room probably knows this, thinks the same exact thing. Like, If we
Exactly.
had Lamar, we probably win that game. But there's no need to say it
no.
because it does. It kind of shows up your teammate, kind of throws him under the bus. Like it was just something that didn't need to be said. But
Well, and there's two opinions out there. I want to get your thoughts on this one. So, Robert Griffin says, anyone saying Lamar Jackson should brace it up and go play, regardless of the extent of his knee injury,
like Michael Vick,
needs to get their head out of their ass.
yeah,
Then Michael Vick says it's the playoffs. You're 3 games away. Put a brace on it. Get it going. Put a brace on it. Let's go. I played a whole season with a torn MCL. Now, what's your thoughts on that?
every player is different, and especially Lamar's situation where he's trying to get that bag, and
That's the kicker for me right there.
I think personally, I think Lamar made a business decision.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, if he had already gotten that bag,
Yeah, he's playing.
maybe.
I think he's playing if he got the bag already.
But if he got the bag already, I'm on Vic's side
yeah,
because you're right. You're 3 games away. Players have played with other injuries.
oh yeah,
Brace it up and get your ass out there, man.
Yep.
Like that's what you're there for.
yeah,
But he hasn't gotten that bag yet.
nope.
And he made a business decision, as you said. And I don't blame him for that.
Especially in the NFL, no, I don't blame him for that. Being as obviously we know the contracts.
There's
aren't
no guaranteed money.
Yep. So that I can see both sides of it. Like I could see how maybe teammates might look down on him for it and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, you're kind of quitting on us, dude."
Yep.
But I can also see the business side of it, saying, "Well, if he does like really fuck up his knee like RG3 did, so I see RG3's point in this, then you're not getting the bag at all."
Well, and the bad thing about this is, to me, it's nobody else's decision to make because,
It
listen,
isn't.
that's not your livelihood.
Right.
That's not your money you're fucking with.
Right.
That person, whoever it is, Lamar, Robert Griffin, Michael Vick, name any player. That's your money. That's your livelihood.
Yep.
That's your income. That's your life. So you make that decision for you. With that being said, it's everybody else's right to have an opinion about what decision you make.
It is.
Opinions don't change what you should do.
It doesn't.
And you do what's best for you.
And obviously, he's the only one who truly knows how hurt he was.
Right.
But again,
and the doctors, but
but he's truly the only one that knows.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, I can see both sides of this. I really can. And it all depends on.
What I didn't like, he didn't even show up to the game.
Is that right? I didn't know he didn't show up to the game.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah, that's kind of sketchy, man.
Man, he wasn't even there.
Yeah, that's. If I was a teammate, I'd be pissed about. I'd be
Like,
you're not playing, but you can at least show up.
I was to say, to me, that speaks more than anything. Like, bro, at least just be there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not playing and you're hurt, okay, man.
Yeah, but at least support. At least come support the team. You know,
Be there.
Yeah. No, especially you're the captain. You know, you're the face of the franchise. You kind of got to be there for that.
Yeah.
And there, to me now, that just there's no way he's a Raven next year.
I don't think so either. I agree.
I don't see that happen. I think there's been too much between him and the front office and whatnot, and then this, not even showing up to the game. It's kind of like, I don't want to see you quit on your team, but you kind of quit on your team, dude.
You kind of quit.
You
kind of
quit on your team. So I don't like it, but it's what it is. I mean, he made his choice. He made his business decision, and so be it. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Especially with the NFL. Get your money, man. Get your money, because NFL owners will do anything possible to take that money away from you. So do what you got to do to get your money.
And again, I would agree with that to a certain extent, and I think there's a lot of people that would. And when it comes down to it, you make the decision you need to make for yourself. That's how we all run, right? We all need to make decisions based on our lives and what we feel is necessary for our livelihood.
Yeah.
With that being said, you're in the public eye. Everyone is allowed to have an opinion
Right.
about your decision. Whether it's right or wrong, people are going to have opinions about what you do. It's the way it works, man.
Now, with that being said, say you are in that position. What are you doing?
In his position right now,
Going into that game.
if I'm really injured and playing anymore is going to possibly hurt me more, and I want that big contract. I haven't signed that big contract.
Yeah.
Then I'm sitting out.
Okay.
Now, if playing will not potentially hurt me more, it'll just cause me pain to play.
Which we don't know.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So if that's the case, if playing doesn't risk further injury and I'm just going to hurt, give me a shot and let me play.
Yep.
And no matter what, if I'm not playing or if I'm playing, I'm traveling with the team.
That 100% yes, and I actually agree with what you said. It all depends on how much more can I hurt myself playing,
Right?
Or can I hurt myself at all? Like I don't. Nobody knows that. So yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you on that one. I know. I know me though. I would probably lean more toward playing. That's just me. But
And again, for me, it would be, listen, if it's just going to be painful, I'll play.
Right.
If there's a possibility of hurting myself more and costing myself money because I haven't gotten the bag yet,
right?
I haven't signed that big contract yet, then okay, I might make that business decision for myself and my family. But if it's just going to cause me pain and it's not going to, there's no potential risk of further injury, then yeah, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do what I got to do.
Fair enough. No, I don't disagree with you. So, you know who else I don't disagree with?
At Your Service by Pat.
That's right. See, I did. I came up with one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Looking to brighten up your home or commercial building? Give At Your Service by Pat a call today at 248-794-0008 for your free estimate. At Your Service by Pat specializes in home and commercial building cleaning. Services include roof and house cleaning featuring soft wash, which is a longer-lasting alternative to pressure washing. They also offer window cleaning, concrete cleaning, deck and fence restoration, gutter services, and more. So call At Your Service by Pat today for your free estimate at 248-794-0008. There you go. Yes. So next up on the Super Wild Card Weekend, the final game of the slate was the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
And putting the beat down
That game was ugly.
on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
I mean, I don't. Did Tom Brady think like the ground was a eligible receiver yesterday? Because I feel like every time I saw him throw the ball, it was into the ground. Like seriously,
Listen, man, and
that's one of the worst games I've ever seen him play.
one of our cohorts said it before the season.
Yeah.
That this would be the year where you would look at it and go, this was one too many.
I think I was on board with him on that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he said it, I think neither one of us disagreed.
Yeah.
But it was spot on.
It was.
And this
He nailed it.
season was for sure, in my mind, one too many for him.
It's hard to disagree with that after he saw just this whole season. There was flashes of the old Brady this season,
But not enough.
but not enough. It's now to the point where you're getting to, all right, man, just shut it down, dude. Shut it down.
I said that this weekend after the game. Well, at Monday after the game was over with, and pretty much leading up to the game, like seeing the way he was playing, I'm like, listen, man, just hang it up.
Yep.
You're 45. You won 7 Super Bowls. You got nothing left to prove.
You've literally won everything
Yeah.
there is to win, dude.
You got nothing left to prove,
Nothing.
man. Go spend time with your family. Go to the booth. Go to a. I mean, listen, the guy's going to be on TV when he's done.
I see.
Right? It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen, but honestly, I don't think he's gonna be that good on TV. I don't.
I don't think he's going to be in the. I say booth. I don't think he's going to be in the booth because I don't think he's going to be a good play caller.
I don't either.
Play by play or anything. I think he'll be on one of those NFL
Like the pregame shows or some
shows,
shit?
whatever.
Yeah.
He'll be on with those guys. He'll probably, or he possibly will be on maybe Fox Sports Net or ESPN or something like that. NFL Network.
Maybe you can join the Manning cast.
Oh God.
I know that's your favorite thing in the world, but
Oh my God. Yeah, so when I found out Dan Campbell was going to be on that show,
yeah.
I text Frank and I go, "Be honest, you're going to watch this Manning cast with your pants off, aren't you?"
Of course. And then it was like that. It was like that South Park meme where there's just jizz everywhere.
I was like, "Come on, be honest. You're gonna watch the Manning cast with your pants off, aren't you?" But yeah, I mean that's it's time for him to hang it up, man. Time
It
to
is
be done.
again, you've won everything. Just stop.
But the bad thing is, if I were to put money on it,
I think he's gonna play another year.
I put money on him going to the Raiders.
Yep, yep, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Like if you told me now, put money on something for him, I would put money on him going to the Raiders.
And I still I
And to me, that's a bad move for them.
for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
But all it does is listen, you saw what he did this year.
Yep.
He's not going to win you games because he's Tom Brady at this point. So you're just going to prolong any decision at your quarterback position that you're going to make because you already decided to get rid of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
If you get Tom Brady, you're kicking the can down the road. That's all you're doing.
That's literally all you're doing. But I mean, you see who the Raiders owner is. He's a fucking idiot. So
Yeah, he's a dumbass.
He's gonna say, yeah, let's do this. We get Tom Brady in Vegas. Yeah, we're gonna pack this place. God. Congratulations, you're gonna pack this place to see your team continue to lose.
I see your team go 8-9.
Yep.
Maybe make the playoffs with that record and then get ousted in the 1st round like Tampa did.
You're gonna be the definition of what the kids say now, mid. That's what you're gonna be. You're gonna be mid. That's it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Just say average.
Why are you saying it?
Just say average.
It bothers me that you even said it.
I right?
Like I like it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Just say average.
Yes.
Just say middle of the road.
Yes.
Not mid. Why does everything that the kids say have to get shortened to like 3 letters?
Because they're fucking stupid.
That's true.
I say you see the education system in this country is just fucking disgrace.
Our world is stupid. If you're listening out there and you haven't seen the movie Idiocracy, go watch it because we're living that in real life right now.
Yes.
The movie Idiocracy. First of all, it's freaking hilarious. So just go watch it. It's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Yes.
But also, you're going to watch it now, and in hindsight, you're going to watch it and go,
"Oh,
holy shit!
Like,
We're
this
actually
is real.
This is actually real life." But yeah. So another note on that game:
Yeah.
the Dallas Cowboys franchise passed Tom Brady in career playoff wins.
I saw that stat
by
today.
beating him in that game.
I saw that stat
They
today.
now have 36 playoff victories. Tom Brady has 35.
That's crazy.
That is a fucking great statistic right there.
You think of how great the Cowboys franchise has been, in the past. Obviously, they have 5 Super Bowls.
And Tom Brady himself was
Had as
tied with
many
them.
playoff wins as your entire franchise. That's just a ridiculous stat.
It is.
That's a ridiculous
It is.
stat.
And it's a ridiculous stat that with that victory that you just
Yeah,
had, the first road victory
Yeah.
in the playoffs for Dallas in forever.
Right.
And you passed Tom Brady with that win. It's a stat you can't.
No.
I mean, it's insane.
Now, in watching that game, I'm still not sold on the Cowboys. I'm not.
I tell you what, I'm a little more sold on them after that game because they didn't look good the first 2 drives on that offense.
No.
But it's almost like, so I look at Jacksonville, how they came out in the second half, and then things just clicked.
Right.
And they just kind of put it together, and they got the momentum. It was almost like that Dallas defense was spot on the whole game, right?
See, I honestly I attribute that more to just a horrendous Tampa Bay offense.
See, and okay, I can see that, but Dallas's defense is pretty damn good, and they were swarming the football. They were making Tom Brady make
Their
fast.
pass rush looked very good.
Yeah, they were making Tom Brady throw it before he was ready to throw it,
Right.
which meant a lot of those balls were going into the ground,
Yeah.
sailing over the head.
But that's where I come to which was it more of? Was it Dallas's
Right.
defense or was it
I
Tampa
think
Bay's
if you
offense?
I think if you get Tom Brady time, he can still pick you apart a little bit. I mean,
Right.
look at the game in Week 17 where he had 3 deep bombs to Mike Evans, and
Right.
and he had like 400 yards, and Mike Evans had like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, if you give him time, he's still Tom Brady, right? But you get pressure on him. That Tom Brady that didn't crack under pressure before now
Yeah.
cracks,
Right.
and they got the pressure on him. But if you look at that Dallas offense, it's like after the first few series, and neither one of us are fans of the Cowboys, and neither one of us are really fans of Dak. But man,
He looked good.
he looked great last night.
He did.
He really put it together. He was threading the ball into places where like only his receiver could catch it. They were getting guys open on
That
on-
guy's
on great-
that guy's
I mean,
wide open.
Great play calls,
Yeah.
great route running. I mean, that was just an overall damn good game by them. And if they're going to play like that, well, there's that.
Yeah.
And-
But now we're going to see it. We're going to see it this coming week when they have to travel to San Francisco.
Yes.
Now you're playing a legitimate defense. You're playing a damn good offense.
Yes.
Now we're gonna kind of see whether this game against Tampa Bay was more Tampa Bay's lackluster offense / defense, or if the Cowboys are really that good. Yes, somebody's here.
Did you? Oh, I was going to say, did you buy a couple of Shetland ponies?
No, no. There's a visitor. So
There's a visit.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that you're going to find a little bit different game this coming week against San Francisco. They have a much better defense, as you said, and their offense is clicking on all cylinders. I'm really looking forward to seeing this because I was a 49ers fan back in the day, and
These were the games.
49ers
Yeah.
and Cowboys was
The de facto Super Bowl.
that was the game.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that again. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, when it was Cowboys Niners for the NFC Championship or whatever, that was like the Super Bowl. Like whomever won that game is probably going to win the Super Bowl,
Right.
You know, and those games were so much fun, and like the in the '80s and the early '90s, early to mid '90s, fantastic games to watch. You know, those were clearly the 2 best teams in the league. It was just like okay,
Absolutely.
we don't even care who comes out of the AFC. Like it didn't matter,
Right.
Like those teams were going to beat them. So. I'm curious to see that game. I am rooting for San Francisco because you know how much I despise the Dallas Cowboys. So
I'm definitely rooting for San Fran. They've almost de facto became my my spare team,
Yeah.
my second team because I kind of always rooted for them. Even when Jimmy G was in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, and I was a big Mahomes fan. I was still kind of rooting for San Fran. They're my team back in the day, and man, I like what they do, and they've kind of become my. Listen, if you're a fan of a bad team, sometimes you have a second team, and they've kind of become my second team again. I really like what they're doing, man.
well, speaking of your first team, They
They
hired a
hired-
new defensive coordinator today,
Hired a D coordinator.
which I actually like that move. I think it's a solid move. He's
I would have rather. There was two other names I would have rather seen, but listen, Jim Shorts.
Jim Shorts, yeah.
Jim Shorts.
Yeah.
Was I know his name is Jim Schwartz. People, I'm kidding.
You know Joe doesn't know how to pronounce any coach's name.
Jim Shorts. No, Jim Schwartz. He's a good, very good. He's a good to very good defensive coordinator, and that's what they needed.
Yes.
Joe Woods was definitely not getting the job done. I called for him to be fired for 3 fucking years now.
Yes, you did. You were all about that.
And no, I like the hire. There was probably 2 other names I would have rather seen, but I think one of those names in Flores is probably going to get a head coaching job. So
You think so?
I think he might actually. Yeah, I think he might.
Which one do you think we'll get? 'Cause I hear Carolina's all in on Ben Johnson.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. But I think it's a possibility that Flores gets the Houston job.
Okay.
I think that might be where he ends up.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I liked him as a head coach. I thought he
doesn't he have a lawsuit against them, or didn't he have a lawsuit against them?
Houston.
Yeah.
No, he has a lawsuit against Miami.
I knew he had. I swear he had one against Houston too.
But I like him as a head coach. I thought he did a very good job for Miami under the circumstances.
Yeah.
I think he's a good coach. I think he will get another shot. But yeah,
I think
I
he
would
should
have
get another shot.
I would have rather seen him as a D coordinator
Right.
myself. But I think he's eyeing bigger and better things other than D coordinator.
Right.
So yeah, I'll take Jim Schwartz. He's proven that he can get the job done on the defensive coordinator position. And
Yeah.
listen, they got pieces you can work with. So
They do.
You need to put them in a position to win and succeed. And I think he can do that much better than Joe Woods.
I mean, it's not exactly a high bar.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think
I would have rather seen them replace the head coach.
Yes.
And go from there.
Yes.
But listen, I'll take what I can get at this point.
So, like we just talked about, Ben Johnson kind of being like the favorite to take over in Carolina. Actually, I saw today he's a favorite in 2 spots.
Yeah.
I didn't see where the other one was.
He is very highly sought after.
He is. He should be.
But he absolutely should be because of what he did with that offense.
Yep.
And this is where I'm going to say, Lions fans, I'd be worried. Because I know you don't believe me, but the majority of the success that came from that team came from the assistant coaches and came from the coaching staff, not from the head coach.
Yes.
If you lose your offensive coordinator who basically transformed that offense,
It was a top 5 offense this year, wasn't it?
I think they were, yeah. I'd be worried. I'd be a little worried.
Yeah, I agree with you because, like we just said, he's earned the shot. At least the interview.
Listen, to me, he's definitely earned the shot at the interview, and if at the very least,
Yep.
right. And when I look at what he's done with that offense, you got Jared Goff, who. So you're looking at a little bit of regression next year, anyway, right? So you like we always say, right? Liquid finds its level, right?
It generally does, yeah.
So when you're looking at that offense, like Jared Goff had no turnovers in like the last 9 games or something like that. Their turnover differential was just outstanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't turn the ball over. Jared Goff made better decisions. If you look at Jared Goff's career overall and you look at the mean and the median as far as turnover differential,
Yep.
there's going to be some regression even with Ben Johnson back. It just is going to happen. It would happen with any team. You're going to see that with any team. I'm not just dogging the Lions on this one. So you're going to have a better defense. You're going to have to continue to have a good defense. You're going to build on that. You got to build on an offense. So you have to continue in the right direction. Some of those things that help them win that last stretch there aren't going to just continue on their own. And if you lose your offensive coordinator, who was a big part of that, a big part of the scheming for that, listen, that touchdown against the Jets was all him.
Oh yeah, that play call. That was a great play call.
That tight end touchdown.
Yeah,
that was all play call.
I thought
that was brilliant.
It was.
And Ben Johnson's been a very, very good offense coordinator this year, and he's definitely deserved the opportunity to interview for a head coach job. And I truly believe he's going to get one of them.
I think he is too.
And,
I absolutely think
and if you're a Lions fan, I would be a little worried about that.
I definitely would not be worried about it.
It's concerning.
Yeah, because now you got to bring in another guy who's going to have kind of that high tempo offense, that high octane offense.
Yeah.
And those guys don't grow on trees, man.
No, no, and it's one of those things where I'm not saying you need to like panic, but no, if the tables were turned and this was my Browns I was talking about,
yeah,
it would be concerning for me. Like if they had the year the Lions had and we're building towards something, which the Browns were doing back when they went to the playoffs and won a playoff game in Pittsburgh and almost beat Kansas City, and then they just completely fucking just shit-canned everything and turned the franchise back around. But if I was looking at that year and I was looking at, the offensive coordinator on the caliber of Ben Johnson being sniped by another team, it definitely would have been concerning for me. I'd have been like, fuck, man, that's not good.
It's not.
So,
But we'll see how that plays out.
you never know how it's going to play out, but I definitely, if I was a Lions fan, I would be a little concerned right now because Ben Johnson was the catalyst behind that offense in my mind.
You know what you shouldn't be concerned about?
Buying or selling a home?
Yeah, the Joe Wright Group, man.
Joe Wright Group. buying or selling a home. I was trying to figure out what to say to that. You shouldn't be concerned about the Joe Wright Group. Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
There you go. Nicely done.
Thanks.
So, in other coaching news, which I know you're thrilled about this.
I don't even know where you're going with this, but we'll see.
Oh, Khaki Pants is coming back, baby.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, so he's basically agreed that he's coming back.
Yes. It was made official yesterday, I believe.
And they're working on an extension,
Yep.
apparently,
Yes.
which will make no difference because next year we will do this exact same shitty dance
Probably.
where he entertains offers from the NFL because he is just a guy that wants to be wanted.
Now, I think it was Joel Klatt. He was doing a podcast, and he tried, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with his take on this, but I kind of see where he's coming from with Harbaugh taking all these meetings with NFL teams and saying it's actually a good thing for Michigan, saying that it keeps Michigan's name in the headlines, in the forefront, that Michigan has a head coach that the NFL desperately wants, and et cetera. And I'm like, I thought about that for a second. I'm like, yeah, I kind of see where you're going with that. I don't necessarily know if I agree with it, but I can see kind of what you're trying to get at. And yeah, if publicity for the school or whatever to kind of keep Michigan in the forefront, like the Michigan name out there, et cetera, I get it. But if this is going to be a thing every year,
It is.
which I think it will be.
This will be an annual
Yeah,
event.
yeah. I think, to me, I think that almost is a hindrance because I think it hinders recruiting.
Oh, it definitely hinders recruiting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know what I think about Klatt's opinion?
Yeah.
That's all bullshit. I'm sorry. Michigan winning the Big Ten and going to the playoffs 2 years in a row
Yeah.
keeps their name
Yes,
out there.
It does.
The head coach constantly entertaining NFL offers, whether they're legit or not. And let's be honest, there's been no legit offers to him. None.
None that we know of, no.
None. There's been no legit offers. And you know what, Jim Harbaugh, they would have come out.
Probably.
Those would have gotten leaked.
Right.
Right? He just wants to be wanted. He's that chick who wasn't really pretty growing up, all of a sudden became very pretty, and now just likes the attention.
Yeah. She's
You know
all
what I mean?
that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he wants to be wanted.
Yeah, or never been kissed. There you go.
One of those,
Yeah,
whatever they
that's
are.
That's the one right there.
But like he doesn't necessarily want to leave,
Right.
but he wants to entertain leaving. He wants somebody to want him besides where he's at. And listen, man, it's a tango that I hate seeing happen every year, but
Right.
it is what it is at this point. To me, it hurts recruiting.
I think it does too.
Why are there people that say it doesn't though? I think it's the Michigan slapdicks that say that, even though you and I are Michigan fans.
Right.
But like, why is it the Michigan guys always say it doesn't hurt recruiting? No, how the fuck can you say it doesn't?
Well,
your head coach is constantly entertaining NFL offers.
You look at the team for next year, and they have a lot of guys coming back. They have basically
They
their
do.
entire offensive line coming back.
The entire offensive line is coming back. They've got both their running backs are coming back.
Yeah, which I don't agree with that, but hey, you do you.
Yeah, listen, man.
But it's different with NIL now, though. It
Yeah.
is. It's different. And another thing about NIL now that I think with the NIL, I think it's going to make college football, the actual play on the field, better, because I think you're going to get guys staying longer.
Well, I think we're already seeing it.
I know, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it
it's
is a
great
good thing.
thing.
I think you're going to see the product improve a little bit. You're going to see more teams having better chances.
Yes.
Because they're going to be able to keep their kids in
Yep.
school longer. They progress, they grow, they get better as players, they mature.
Right.
And I think you're going to see a better product in the field.
So you look at Michigan's team for next year. They have pretty much their entire offensive line coming back. They have the running backs coming back. They have McCarthy coming back, who has a year of seasoning under him. I think he'll be better next year. They have like damn near the entire team coming back, which is great. And then you're going to add in the transfers, which you look at their recruiting class this year. It's not great.
No.
It isn't.
No, it's what, 17th in the nation?
Yeah, it's not great, but the
17th in the nation.
right. But the transfers they have coming in
Yeah, the
kind of makes up for that a little bit.
Well, I think they're number one in transfer portal, right?
Right.
So, but to me, that doesn't make up. Yes, it helps, but to me, it doesn't make up for having the 17th best recruiting class. When
Right.
you listen, you're the University of Michigan. You've gone to. I said that right this time.
Nice.
You've gone.
Wait, not
to,
Michigan University?
Yeah. You've gone to. You've won 2 Big Ten championships. You've gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You should have a better than a 17th overall recruiting class. I'm sorry, that you just should. And that to me says that Harbaugh's quirkiness and somewhat their game plan as well, their offensive game plan at least, and then also the fact that he entertains suitors every year hurts.
That, and I don't want to necessarily say that it was their plan during this recruiting cycle to focus more on the transfer portal than it was to recruit. But maybe it was. Nobody knows that for sure.
I would, if that was their philosophy,
I don't agree with it.
I would hate that.
I don't agree with it
because you're not going to get better players out of the portal than you could if you fully recruited.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to. Yes, you can get some good players in the portal,
Yes.
but you can't just ignore recruiting and be like, "Yeah, we can get the 17th best class in recruiting and still get players out of the portal." That can help.
Well,
It shouldn't be your go-to.
I mean, you know how I feel about recruiting. I think it's all just stars on a piece of paper.
No, I agree with
It
you.
is.
But when it comes down to it, if you're getting more of those stars, it's like lottery tickets, right?
is.
The more stars you have on your roster that you recruit, the more chances you have at scratching off that winning lottery ticket.
Yeah.
And getting that winning kid. You know what I mean? Like that big star.
And not to mention, you have to develop this talent as well. So
That
I
too.
don't care if a kid's an 8-star. Like, if
Right.
you can't develop it, doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll
But
see.
when you see teams like, listen, Alabama, LSU,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, you're constantly seeing these kids come in there, and are they developed? Yes, but they're also highly recruited 5-star, 4-star athletes that are already at a level where if you get enough of those, again, like I said, it's lottery tickets. The more lottery tickets you have, the better of a chance you have on hitting on a couple.
Right.
And you need those, man. A college team needs that.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting next year because obviously Penn State's going to be better. Ohio State's going to be good. Stroud declared for the NFL draft.
Yep.
So they're going to be probably a freshman starting, I would think.
Yeah. But you know how they are with quarterbacks, man. They just keep spewing them out, man.
They do. They do.
No, man, it doesn't ever stop with them. They just
Right.
keep spewing out quarterbacks.
Now, whether they're good or not, that's a different story.
But I mean, they're usually always good in college.
yes.
They don't always translate in the NFL. But I
Right.
mean, if we're talking about college, they always spew out a good quarterback in college. It just happens with them. I don't understand it.
They changed their offensive coordinator too. They named Hartline their OC now.
Yeah, I
which
saw that.
I actually like that move. I think it's. A
Yeah,
solid
he
move.
has quickly moved up the coaching
He
tree
has.
there, very quickly.
So it's. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think the Big Ten's gonna be significantly better next year because I think Iowa's gonna be better. And for the love of God, can we eliminate the divisions in the Big Ten? Just get rid of it.
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
Either that or realign them.
Something because the Big Ten East is so much better than the Big Ten West. It's not even close.
No, it's not.
It's not even close. So I mean, we'll see. Because the Big Ten commissioner just left to go to the Bears to run the Bears.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the Big Ten and the divisions, etc. But yeah, it should be an interesting season next year. So we shall. Are you off the Michigan bandwagon now,
No.
or are you still on?
No, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. Listen,
I didn't know if after the debacle against TCU if you were back out.
No, it's funny. I got that text message before the game was even over with from Frank, and I'm like, no, but this game is. I mean, it was when Michigan was getting crushed basically, and they ended up coming back. But he was like, sorry, are you off the bandwagon? I'm like, no, but this is very disheartening. Like this is not the team that should have showed up and what they should be doing.
It was not.
And I basically said to him, I said, this to me just proves and backs up my hatred for the head coach. As good as he's been the last couple years, you can't neglect his first 6.
You can't.
And when it comes down to it, they're 0-7, 0-6 in bowl games.
I believe so.
And when it comes down to big games, I think he's arrogant and a little bit stupid at times with his game plan, and that loses them big games. And to me, that game basically did nothing but back up my questioning of Harbaugh. All in the while saying, no, I'm not. He did and they did everything that I asked for me to buy back in. So I would be hypocritical if I then went, no, I'm back off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna move the goalpost on this. Yeah.
I can't keep raising the bar higher
Right.
and just making it unattainable. Same as you shouldn't make the bar so low that they will hit it just so you can stay a fan. You know what I mean? Like it's the same way. You know what I mean? So like I'm not going to keep raising the bar and be hypocritical. No, I'm back in. I bought back in. They did everything that I asked for them to do for me to buy back in, and I'm in. I want to see this play out. It needs to play out differently than it did the last 2 years, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. Is the playoff expanding this year or next year?
Next year.
So all right.
This year, it's still 4.
Okay. Which I think it needs.
At this point,
yeah, which it could change.
they could change
They
that.
could change it, but we shall see. Anything else?
No, I think we should just get back in the picks. I
Want to
think.
get the picks? Let's
Yeah.
do the picks.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
So how did last week's pick go?
All right, so last week's picks, I was 3-2-1.
Yeah.
The tie was Baltimore-Cincinnati. It was a 7-point spread. Cincinnati won by 7. You were 4-1-1, and Eric was 4-1-1.
Yeah.
The only game you got wrong was Tampa Bay. I tried to tell you that was going to happen. And then the only game that Eric got wrong was the Buffalo game.
Okay.
And I got Buffalo wrong, and then I also got Minnesota wrong. And my dumbass was waffling back and forth all week long on who to pick on that one.
Yeah.
I leaned to Minnesota. I leaned the Giants. I leaned Minnesota. I mean the Giants. When we picked on Tuesday, obviously I was Minnesota, so I lost that one. And then I waffled back and forth and still made the pick of Minnesota like an idiot and cost myself probably a little bit of money. But,
Yeah, it happens.
live and learn.
Yeah.
I thought they were both pretty even teams, and I'm like, I'm just going to go with Minnesota because they're at home. It was a bad call. The Giants should have actually probably been favored in that game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Anyways, getting into this slate, we got a very small slate this week because there's only 4 games.
That's what she said.
First up, we got the Jaguars taking on the Chefs. The Chefs are laying 8.5.
Ooh. Honestly, this game does not bode well for Kansas City. You know why?
Do tell.
Trevor Lawrence is still undefeated on Saturdays.
He is.
In his college career,
Yeah.
in his NFL career, and in his high school career.
It's impressive.
He's still undefeated on Saturdays,
That's impressive.
including last Saturday when he had that big comeback.
Right.
That's not going to continue this week. Kansas City will win this game, but I'm going to take Jacksonville to keep it within 8.5 points.
I'm with you on this one. Obviously, we talked about earlier, Jacksonville's been playing basically playoff football for the past month and a half or so, 2 months, whatever. And I think they got their kinks out this past week against the Chargers. The bye week, people always like, oh yeah, you got to bye. Sometimes that hurts more than it helps.
Right.
Especially with the Chiefs. They were playing some good football.
Momentum is a big thing in the NFL.
The Chiefs
and if you put a stop to that,
yeah, the Chiefs are playing some good football. Now, obviously, they'll probably Andy Reid probably designed some crazy ass plays, and maybe another ring around the rosy play that they got going like they did. That was such disrespect against the Raiders, but I fucking loved it. I thought it was funny as hell.
It was complete disrespect.
It really was. It's like, dude, we don't even take you serious.
They're out there running fucking playground plays.
It was great. Just drawing stuff up in the dirt.
Hook and ladder.
Yeah, right.
Hook and ladder.
The annexation of Puerto Rico. Go. It was great. But like I said, sometimes the bye week hinders more than it helps. So I think that's going to keep this game relatively close. So I'm taking the Jag. I think the Chiefs will win, but I see this as like a 5-point game, like maybe even a 6, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, are you entering these in?
Oh yeah, I got.
You're not, are you?
No, I was not. I had the thing pulled up. I just wasn't doing it. All right, we're both.
That's what she said.
Yes, I was not inserting it.
You had the thing pulled up. You just were not doing it.
I wasn't inserting it. My bad.
That's what she said.
Next up, we got the Giants taking on the Eagles. Philadelphia's laying 7.5.
I'm going to go the opposite direction on this game. I think Philadelphia kind of needed a week off.
I do too.
I
think Jalen Hurts needed to get right.
I'm going to take Philadelphia in this game to beat the Giants by 7.5. Is that what it is? 7.5?
Yep.
Okay. I look at this game and I just see Philadelphia wanting to stomp on the Giants. It's a divisional team. They want to make a statement in the playoffs that they're the team to beat, not San Francisco. They didn't get to play last week. San Fran did. San Fran made it look like they're the team to beat in the NFC, right? And even Dallas could possibly have another division opponent could possibly have made that statement. Philadelphia didn't get to make that statement. They were off.
Right.
They're going to want to come out and make a statement.
I'm going to roll with the Giants on this one, kind of for the same reasons that I rolled with Jacksonville. Again, sometimes the bye week hurts, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Also, I think and we've seen it with Philadelphia this entire season. They tend to let teams back in the game.
They do.
And I think the Giants are going to be able to run the ball a little bit in this game. So I'm going to roll with the Giants on this one.
I don't know, man.
I think they're going to try
that defensive line for Philly is fucking good.
Right, but I think they're going to maybe not run the ball, but I think they're going to try some like passing stuff with Saquon.
Okay.
So that'll be their de facto running game.
Yeah. Screen passes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I can see the Giants keeping this within the 7.5. I'm going to roll with the Giants in this one.
All right.
Next up, we have Cincinnati taking on Buffalo. Buffalo's laying 4.5.
I think Buffalo's game against Miami is going to play into this one. I think another team that wants to come out and make a statement is going to be Buffalo. Cincinnati struggled against Baltimore as well, but this game is in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. And I think Buffalo's going to come out and want to make a statement. And I don't think Cincinnati's going to quite have enough to keep up with them. I'm going to take Buffalo minus 4.5.
For all the reasons you just said is why I'm taking Cincinnati.
Okay.
I don't think the cold makes a difference because they both play in cold weather cities.
Kind of, yeah.
I think, and I hate to say this because obviously of the circumstance, but I think deep down, I think Cincinnati's pissed off about that game that it didn't get replayed.
Yeah.
Or it, like continued or whatever. Like maybe not continued, but like replayed.
Right.
Because I think Cincinnati would have won that game.
Oh, I do too.
So I think I think they got a little chip on their shoulder because of that, and obviously why it got canceled, obviously it is what it is. But I think they still believe that we would have beat them.
Yeah.
So I think they go into Buffalo. Again, Buffalo can't stop the run. They just can't.
Yeah.
I think I can see Mixon having a huge game. And you've seen Burrow, man. The dude's just ice.
I mean, he is. He really is.
So, and they got the pedigree. They got to the Super Bowl last year, and they had to go through Arrowhead to do it.
Yeah.
So, give me the Bengals in this one. Not even with the spread. I think they're gonna win.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep. Buffalo's been playing like shit for far too long.
I mean, they keep tempting fate.
They do. That's exactly my. Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. They keep tempting fate, and I keep hearing, "Oh, they haven't played their best football yet." Well, when the fuck are you going to do that?
At what point are you?
At what point are you going to do that? Like,
see, and that's
you got to run out of games to do that.
That's where I think we differ on this one. I think Buffalo comes out and plays their best game. I think Buffalo comes out and really makes a statement in this game. Is history on my side right now in this season? No.
Right.
It's just the way that I kind of feel it's going to play out. But we'll
Joe,
see.
I hope more than anything I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just when you keep consistently hearing that, oh, we haven't played our best football yet. We haven't played our best football yet. Well, when are you going to do that?
At what point?
At what point do you do that? You know, you're kind of running out of time to do that. So we shall see. I think it'll be a good game. I think it will be within that 4.5.
I'll be honest with you. I think all these games this weekend will be pretty good games.
Yeah, I do as well. And finishing out the small slate is the Dallas Cowboys taking on the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco's laying 4.
4? Oh, okay. I got it at 3.5. But give me San Fran still, even at 4. They're clicking on all cylinders right now, man. I really like what they're doing. I like them at home to win this game by a touchdown.
I am with you 100% on this one. I am taking the Niners as well. Like I said earlier in the show, I am not sold on the Dallas Cowboys. That game against Tampa Bay, again, I don't know if it was how bad Tampa is or how good Dallas is. I think it was a little maybe both. Who knows?
Right.
What I do know is San Francisco is good all the way around. Their defense is good. Their offense is good. And I think it's going to be too much for Dallas.
Mr. Irrelevant is good.
Mr. Irrelevant is good. That so far
He's Purdy.
He's Purdy. Yes. So I could see this. I could see them win by like a 10-point game, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the Niners.
All right.
And that is the picks for this week.
All right. Those are the picks. Now we've got our taste this segment.
All right, motherfuckers, let's take a timeout and taste this.
Yes, we do. This one is from Founders. So right off the bat, I think it should be pretty good beer because Founders generally makes good beer.
Founders is good. I like Founders.
It's called Four Giants and the Haze of Destiny. It is an Imperial Hazy IPA.
Okay.
And if Eric were here, I think he would like this one. But
I would think so based on what I've heard so far. Once we taste it,
yes,
we'll see.
But since he's been a little bitch and wanted to go to sleep and because he's got work at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just kidding, Eric. Love you, buddy.
Little bit. Oh, unless he listens to this tomorrow or on a later date, he's not listening to us right now. I'll tell you that.
No, but Alicia probably heard that.
Yeah, she might have. Yeah, she might have. Got to go to work at 2 o'clock in the morning. All right. Always nervous on that one.
Yeah. Oh shit, we got beer all over the equipment. Damn it.
No. Okay, first of all, I like the waft. I like the sniff.
A little waft.
Wafting.
Yeah.
Wafting.
Yeah.
Everybody likes their own brand.
Right. All right, ready?
All right, ready?
Cheers.
Ooh. Okay. It has good things and bad things. It's a little too tart for me. It's got a little bit too much bitterness for me.
See, I'm not getting the bitterness.
Oh, I got a little too much bitterness there.
I'm not getting enough.
Really?
No.
Yeah, see, I just didn't like that was a little bit of a bite that I don't really care for with my beers.
I'm not getting any of the bite, and like
Man.
I said, especially with an Imperial,
Yeah.
I'm not getting that bite.
But I love IPAs.
Yeah, so do I.
It's a bite that I don't want with my IPA.
Okay.
It's a weird kick in the teeth or a weird kick in the back of my throat. I don't know. It's just not something I really like. I'm not on board with this.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's bland to me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not getting that bite. Yeah, I'd give it like a 2.7.
I'm going 2.5.
Yeah.
It's not. I might even go like I could probably even go less than that. It's just no. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not something I would recommend to anybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eric. Probably would not enjoy that either. Honestly.
He probably wouldn't. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, and I'm actually going to Founders in like a month or so. So
Okay.
I'm definitely not getting this one.
No, that's a no go.
Yeah,
That's nasty.
that is not remarkably fucking yummy.
That is definitely not remarkably fucking yummy.
But yeah,
All right. Anything else?
got nothing.
All right. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com. You can check out the blogs. We'll have fantasy back next season. You can check out our picks. And you can also click on shop and
Buy stuff.
buy some stuff.
That's right.
Because,
We have stuff on there for you to buy.
and you should buy it.
You should buy it.
Because you would want to buy stuff with our name on it.
You should.
Sports on Tap Detroit.
The hoodies are dope, man. I'm not gonna lie.
They are. There's a lot of good clothes on there, actually, and there's a bunch of other stuff that you can look at.
Yep.
SOTDET.com. Click on shop. On behalf of Chris and Eric, who's probably sleeping, we are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.